Why would Ryan Reynolds spend millions without consulting his wife? That's just one red flag in a relationship that has fans speculating about what's real and what's not. Although the rumors surrounding Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' relationship exploded in 2024, there have long been questions about the couple's compatibility. Some moviegoers even questioned the duo's chemistry as far back as 2011. Apparently, Reynolds and Lively's on-screen performance in the action movie Green Lantern left a lot to be desired in terms of their rapport. Some film buffs even questioned the couple's ability to connect. Writing on Reddit, one film fan shared, "I'm actually one of those weird people who liked Green Lantern, but by far the worst problem I had was there was no chemistry between the two leads, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively."
Evening, ma'am. Didn't get a chance to say goodbye. Are you okay?
Of course, it's important to note that Reynolds and Lively were not in any sort of romantic relationship at the time they started filming Green Lantern in 2010. In fact, they met for the first time on the set of the movie, meaning that they still hadn't had the chance to develop much of a bond. Even Reynolds himself told SiriusXM that he and Blake were just buddies in those early days. That being said, these criticisms of the couple's chemistry may lead some fans to believe that they are lacking what it takes to help a marriage survive the long term. Despite the negative comments surrounding their chemistry, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively got married in 2012. But whereas many couples head straight from their weddings to their honeymoons, Reynolds and Lively did not have that luxury. Due to the demanding nature of their careers, the Hollywood actors struggled to balance their filming commitments with their honeymoon expectations. As such, directly following their wedding, Lively and Reynolds squeezed in a quick getaway to Little Washington, Virginia. They kept their stay to a minimum, though, as Lively needed to rush back to the set of Gossip Girl. A second iteration of this dilemma occurred months later when the couple embarked on a second honeymoon somewhere on the African continent. Although they were able to spend some quality time together, their vacation was cut short by Reynolds' commitment to film The Captive in Canada. As the actor shared in a press conference, "I dragged my wife from our honeymoon in Africa and landed her in Ontario, Canada when it was minus 40 degrees. Apparently, they lived out of a small roadside hotel for weeks, a struggle that clearly signaled that the honeymoon was over, so to speak. These scheduling difficulties may indicate that Reynolds and Lively do not always have a lot of time for love and romance. While Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively met on the set of a movie, their busy careers have often taken them in different directions. In 2015, an anonymous source told Radar Online that Reynolds and Lively simply could not balance their personal career ambitions with their desire to spend time together as a couple. The source said, "They've completely drifted apart. They're both focused on their careers and have no time for each other." Interestingly, Lively and Reynolds say that they do try prioritizing their relationship over making movies. They even told the press that they avoid filming at the same time so that they don't have to spend long periods of time away from each other. In 2020, Reynolds told Access Hollywood, "We don't split up, like I shoot movies and my wife shoots movies and we go travel all over the place and we just all go together." In 2024, though, Hello reported that this never-splitting policy might have been easier said than done. Even in the early years of the couple's romance, most of Lively's time went to filming Gossip Girl. And with the dual release of their movies It Ends With Us and Deadpool and Wolverine in 2024, Reynolds and Lively have been caught working at the same time. With this in mind, it's definitely possible that the couple doesn't spend as much time together as they're willing to admit publicly. From an outsider's perspective, a career in Hollywood may appear to be all glitz and glamour. With red carpet appearances, photo shoots, and massive salaries, Reynolds and Lively appear to be living large. That being said, the demands of their acting commitments can be harsh, a factor which may even have an impact on the couple's marriage. In August 2024, Reynolds took to Instagram to congratulate the costumes department from Deadpool and Wolverine on a job well done. He shared a photo of some of the team's handiwork to the social media platform and even used the caption to gush, "The work they do isn't just design and fabrication, it's engineering."
Should we wait for a third act flashback?
Go yourself.
Fascinatingly, though, Reynolds' appreciation post hinted toward the stress that he and the rest of the team endured during filming. After admitting that the costume designers had no room for error in terms of their work, Reynolds went on to share that he oftentimes could not use the restroom for over an hour while on set. In the midst of such an intensive filming process, it's difficult to say where exactly the actor found the time to be a present husband. Of course, Ryan Reynolds is not the only one with a challenging work schedule. Over the years, Blake Lively has also struggled with stressful work commitments that take up enormous stretches of her time. Because of this, it is said that Reynolds and Lively can get competitive with each other, especially in terms of who makes the best movies. Lively opened up about this complicated dynamic in a 2024 interview with Heart. Commenting on the rivalry between their films It Ends With Us and Deadpool and Wolverine, Lively declared that she had won the competition because she was technically in both movies.
My husband and I, got married, Deadpool was made, and then they were looking for a lady pool, so, I was avail.
She jokingly told the publication, "You have to long game it. You know how I'm going to win? I'm going to be in both. He wasn't in this movie. He should have been in this movie. Then it would have been a real competition." As lighthearted as these comments were, however, some sources say that the competition between Lively and Reynolds can really heat up. As one anonymous source told Radar Online, Blake and Ryan's career rivalry is a problem. Although it is difficult to say whether this is actually true, we can imagine that Lively and Reynolds' best movie contests grow pretty passionate. No marriage is without its challenges, and Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' relationship is no exception. Although it's unclear what their biggest issues may be, rumor has it that both Reynolds and Lively can be difficult to work with. In August 2024, Norwegian journalist Kirsty Flaw went on her personal YouTube channel to share a cringy old interview with Blake Lively that she claimed, quote, "made me want to quit my job." In the interview, which took place in 2016, shortly after Lively announced her second pregnancy, Flaw greeted Lively with words of positivity. Lively responded by body-shaming her.
First of all, congrats on your little bump.
Congrats on your little bump.
Apparently, this comment left Flaw so rattled that she considered stepping away from interviews for good. Interestingly, Lively is not the only one who has a reputation for being hard to work with. On an episode of The Adam Carolla Show in 2022, actor TJ Miller claimed that Reynolds was unkind to him on set.
And then as the character, he was horrifically mean to me.
It's no secret that sharing finances is one of the trickiest parts of maintaining a marriage. Lively and Reynolds discovered this the hard way when Reynolds made a major purchase without consulting his wife. In an appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live in 2022, Reynolds revealed that he had bought Wrexham AFC, a football club, without Lively's blessing. He told Kimmel, "I remembered showing up and seeing Blake and saying, I have bad news and I have really bad news. The bad news is I slipped into someone's DMs again."
The really bad news is that, I might have bought half of a fifth-tier national football league in Wales.
Understandably, Lively was furious to hear her husband bought a soccer team without informing her of his plans. Reynolds described his wife's reaction as not great.
Yeah, we're still working through that one.
One of the toughest moments for Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds appears to be part of their jobs. Over the years, the couple has clashed a bit on the red carpet due to their different dispositions. While Lively has long held the reputation for being the star of the show, Reynolds has not always seemed too keen on spending time in front of the cameras. On August 6th, 2024, the couple made an appearance together at the It Ends With Us premiere. Halfway through their red carpet walk, however, Reynolds stopped Lively and whispered something to her. Professional lip reader Nicola Hickling exclusively told The List that Reynolds expressed his impatience at the premiere. As Hickling revealed, he asked, "Is this the last time?" Apparently, this comment was probably in reference to posing for photos on the red carpet. According to Hickling, Lively did not come back with the response that Reynolds wanted. She told The List. Lively said, "No, we gotta speak to everyone. Are you impressed? There's more." While this answer might have been a disappointment to Reynolds, it also represented a major win for Lively. After all, the amount of camera attention that she received was directly correlated to the amount of excitement surrounding her movie, regardless of whether or not her husband was excited about smiling one more time for the cameras. Reynolds' reluctance to shine on the red carpet was not just revealed during the It Ends With Us premiere. The actor appeared equally uncomfortable posing for the cameras on his way to the after-party of the premiere of his own movie, Deadpool and Wolverine. Speaking exclusively to The List, behavior and relationship expert Dr. Patrick Wanis explained that Reynolds' body language showed his displeasure with the event. He said, "You can see Ryan wants to get away. He appears to think I've taken the photos, shown what I needed to show, and fulfilled my obligations. Can I leave now?" While Reynolds' nonverbal communication shows resistance to his red carpet obligations, Wanis said that Blake Lively seems much more keen on the spotlight. The relationship expert noted, "He wants to walk away and go back into the venue, but Blake pulls him back, tugging on his hand because she wants to stay. She enjoys the intense adulation and thrives on the attention, becoming more energized the more attention and validation she receives." Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are extremely lovey-dovey when they're out together in public. Over the years, they've been photographed holding hands, hugging, and making doe eyes at each other. In spite of these arguably romantic moments, many movie fans believe that the couple is leaning a little bit too hard into their perfect pair image. As one Redditor shared, "The more people try to push the perfect marriage relationship goals narrative online, the less I believe them."
I think we're both pretty romantic. Yeah, we're pretty romantic people.
Naturally, this individual is not the only one to feel this way. Commenting on the same thread, another Redditor added, "Maybe I'm just pessimistic, but I always get suspicious of people who are too well-liked or appear too perfect. It makes me feel like they're hiding something." At the end of the day, Lively and Reynolds are extremely public about the positive parts of their marriage and silent about the rest. This paints an image of their relationship that can seem disingenuous. After all, no marriage is perfect, and certainly not as perfect as the one that Lively and Reynolds portray to the world.